be seated. Before starting this morning, I'd like to just have a moment of silence. We lost two very important both board members and members of our chamber over the past 2 weeks. One of which was Joe Talevi from Talco, whose wife Kathy's on our board, but has been involved with the chamber since I moved over from Xavier in the early 80s. And the other is Jerry Dyer from Westbrook, who was one of the 2 or 3 individuals down in that area that really moved forward to merge the Westbrook Chamber with the Middlesex County Chamber of Commerce. Both of them have had unbelievable impacts on myself personally. I know a lot of people in this room. So a moment of silence for 2 great chamber members, Joe Talevi and Jerry Dyer. Thank you very much. Also, this morning, we already gave them some books and pies, but the people that are here, as you see this great full house this morning for Randy, tremendous. Let's have a round of applause to start for Randy Edsall. Randy, Phil Cacciola was here at 5:15 to get his table right in front. I think he took a pie this morning, and big Jim Dowling, 5:30, he's in back, and Tom Danilou from Chicago Sands was here at 5:35 to get their tables, so we appreciate them getting here early. As you know, we don't reserve tables here. People, we want them to come and get their tables, and they do, which we really appreciate. Now I'd like to call upon Rick Moran, our chairman of the chamber, who's doing a terrific job with us.
Great. Thank you, Larry. I'd just like to welcome everyone to our August meeting. I like to think of this as our unofficial, unfortunately, end of summer, start of fall. And I can't think of a better way than having Randy Edsall here to kick off the season and our fall season. So with that, I'd just like to recognize all the state and local officials that are here this morning. There's a blue sheet in front of you. I'm not going to go through the list due to the time constraints and the number, but if you're sitting with any of them, please thank them for being here. And with that, I'd like to recognize our new members in line with our efforts to continue to increase the membership. I have quite a list here. We have Biz, and you can hold your applause till after I read the list, and if the new members would like to stand as I call off their names. We have Biz Funding Finder from Berlin, Hartford Symphony Orchestra from Hartford, IT Direct from West Hartford, James Ribzik Plumbing and Heating Air Conditioning Bristol, Pink & Company Inc. Glastonbury, Tri-State Carbonation New York, TSKP Studio Hartford, and Westland RJ Julia Bookstore, and last but not least, beautiful, again, Boutique in Portland. If we can have a round of applause for new members. Great. Thank you, and we look forward to your membership. Lastly, we have the awards. Congratulations. I'm just going to read these off so that I don't misspeak. We have the Connecticut Employees Union Independent Local 511, SEIU, AFL-CIO, on their upcoming 50th anniversary and celebration to be held on October 28th of this year. And then recognition to Justin Wilkie from Middlesex United Way. Congratulations. He's the development director of the United Way, Middlesex County United Way. And along the same lines, we have Kevin Reich, who is leading this year's. He's the campaign chair of the current year United Way campaign. And just give all of them a round of applause. Great, and I'm sure you all look forward to hearing from Randy, and I'll turn it back over to the coach.
As was just mentioned, we are really fortunate with our chamber. We're really a unique chamber in the fact that we have such a cross-section of not only businesses, but we also have unions that are a member of our chambers. And I know we have with us here today Ron McClellan, the president of Connecticut Employees Union, along with Carl Chisholm, who's a councilman also in the city of Middletown as the vice president, and others that have been really strong supporters of our chamber. And going back to the 1980s when I moved over here from Xavier, at that point, Sal Peruccio, who was the founder of this union, came up to me and he said, we'd like to join the chamber. And I said, I didn't know that unions were involved with Chamber of Commerce's. And he said, well, we'd like to get involved. And that was back in 1984. This union has been with us all along. And from that, we have had multiple other unions join our chamber. We need the support of everyone in the community, especially when we come forth with land use problems, where we get people to get up and speak for us. So we have a plaque up here for you, Ron. You can pick up afterwards. But I just want to thank you and your team that's with us today. Stand up for a long-term membership, but more importantly, stepping out in the 80s to join a business organization. Okay, I'd just like to introduce those people at the head table that will not be speaking. We have Mayor Enzo Fienza, the town of Cromwell. Susan Herbst, who you probably saw the Current this morning, mentioned about our move from West Hartford to Hartford. And also last week we were in Stamford with the new dorms going up there for the University of Connecticut. But as she's spoken to the chamber on a couple of occasions, we are very, very fortunate at the University of Connecticut and the state of Connecticut to have Susan Herbst in leadership. She has done a remarkable job and in her leadership, and she's like as an ex-coach, I can say this, she is like a coach in a way. She's not afraid to make tough decisions, and when she makes tough decisions, she goes forward with them and makes sure they're carried out. And I think all of us in the state of Connecticut deserves applause for this great leader of our university. We have Ann Evans from the Department of Commerce, who is another tremendous supporter of ours. Nathan Grube, who won't be speaking. Andy will be speaking today, but has done a great job with the Travelers Championship. Rich Greco, who chaired our Motorcycle Mania and also did an amount of work for our cruise night. And we have a lot of these people here. This was an event that we ran for the cruise night. We had about close to 1,000 cars. And about 7,000 to 8,000 people downtown Middletown. The motorcycle rally had close to 7,000 bikes, close to 15,000 people. We've run this for 12 years, not one problem in 12 years, and that's because of our great committees for these two events, and I'd like to have them stand up and be recognized. The Motorcycle Mania people and also our cruise night on Main. Come on, stand up, give a round of applause. Great job. And Rich Greco, the great chairman. Rich Greco. Also, we have with us here today, Jay Polk is up here, our next year's chairman of the chamber, but I would be remiss if I did not recognize Dee Rowe, who's sitting up here next to me. And Dee, on September 8th, will be receiving in Springfield from the Basketball Hall of Fame, John W. Bunn Lifetime Achievement Award from the Basketball Hall of Fame. This is the top honor you can get. Let's have a standing ovation for this great Husky. He said he'll charge you $5 for autographs afterwards, and donations go to UConn Sports. Okay. Next, it gives me great honor now. We have another unbelievable event that will be coming into our region this month, of September, which is a Durham Fair. That brings 250,000 people here also. And it's great that we have Deb Husher with us here today, marketing coordinator. Come on up, Deb.
Hi. Yes, we are exactly 4 weeks away from the opening of the 98th Annual Durham Fair. And we are Connecticut's largest agricultural fair, and we are one of the largest all-volunteer fairs in the country. So I'm just one of about 300 volunteers that start working in October to get ready for this big event that does bring 250,000 people here. So just in case you haven't been to the fair before, which I hope you all have, but we have about 1,100 animals. We have cows, and we have chickens, and sheep, and pigs, and donkeys, alpacas. We have about 10,000 exhibits ranging from giant pumpkins to photography to vegetables. And we also have a demolition derby. We have monster trucks. We have a lumberjack show. And we have our biggest highlight really is our entertainment. So we have 3 stages. But we get nationally recognized headline entertainment for our Friday and Saturday night, and this year definitely won't disappoint. So on Friday night, we are so excited to have the ACM and the CMA Vocal Duo of the Year, Brothers Osborne, taking main stage on Friday night. And then on Saturday night, we have a 4-time Grammy, really a rock and roll legend. We have Pat Benatar and her husband, Neil Giraldo, taking the stage. And all of this is included with just a $14 admission ticket, all of this stuff. But you can actually go to our website now, and you can get a ticket for $11, and you get free parking. So what a value is that? But one thing that we are very excited about this year, it's the first time doing it, we are having a Military Appreciation Day on Sunday. So all U.S. active military and all U.S. veterans will be admitted into the fair for free. And this is partly sponsored by the VA Connecticut healthcare system. So in addition to getting the free admission, there's going to be mobile vet centers, we're going to have prize giveaways, and also participating vendors will give discounts. And to really top this off, on our main stage, we are going to be having a USO show troupe. And it is going to be something for everybody. So they are going to go back to the classics from the 1940s, and then they will be playing music that you're hearing on the radio today. And we'll also have, of course, a lot of patriotic performances with that to help honor the occasion. So we hope you will join us September 21st to the 24th. Over there, we do have flyers for the military appreciation as well as posters, so please spread the news and go buy your tickets, durhamfair.com. Thanks.
We had a great business after work in the month of July. We had about 250 people at the Courtyard of Marriott. Their team is here. They did a great, great job. Please stand up and be recognized for doing a great job for our business after work in July. Courtyard of Marriott, people, come on up. Thank you very much, Dan, and great job. Also, to give a update today, we're really honored to have both Nathan with us, but also Andy Bassett, who wears a lot of hats, not only with the Travelers, but also he's on the board of trustees of the University of Connecticut. So Andy, come on up and let's give a quick update on last year's tournament and the excitement for the tournament coming up this year. Andy Bassett.
I only talk to you once a year, so this is a real treat, so thank you. And there's no such thing as an ex-coach, right, Dee? You're always a coach. When I played golf with Jim Calhoun last year, he reminded me of that 15 times. In a very indirect way, but a very powerful and strong way, so I got the message. Randy, when we play, don't do that to me. But not ex either. So. Hey, just a quick update. Nathan and I work at this year-round, but I got to tell you, yesterday we put out our invitation for our Women's Day. I can't tell you who it is because she hasn't said yes yet. But you think that Tory Burch was great last year, this year, right? Wait till you see next year. Next year's Women's Day going to knock your socks off. It's going to be a phenomenal morning. That's Thursday. I always forget the date of it, Nathan, for next year. We're off by a date. But Women's Day will be unbelievable. The player field update, Nathan and I are going recruiting next Thursday and Friday up at Deutsche Bank, and I'm taking a bunch of the players out fishing on Monday. So we do this. This is like building a friendship with these players. And I get the nicest note from Rory 3 days ago, just saying had a great time, and he would be back in the very near future, like very near future, underlined. So I think our player field is going to knock your socks off too. So make sure you come back. I know you will. Middlesex Chamber has always been a great friend of ours, and we've worked really well together with Larry, with your leadership and what we're trying to do. And you know, our number, I know Nathan's going to kick me under the table, but you can't, there's no table, is, you know, our charity numbers this year will well exceed our base, our core charity from last year, in that $1.7 million range, up from 1.5 last year. So it's really great. The stuff we're doing is fun, but it's a great day. It's a great week for everybody in Connecticut. And I'll leave you with one story. I got a call from a person. I got a lot of calls from people who I don't know. I didn't know this man at all. And he said, my father went to Trinity, I went to Trinity, my son's at Trinity. We're Hartford people, we're here forever. And with everything going on in the world these days, this made us so proud to be part of Connecticut, living in Connecticut and citizens of Connecticut. Is what happened this year at the Travelers Championship. So we're glad to be here, we're glad to be supportive. Travelers really does love the Middlesex Chamber and Cromwell and the entire region for what we can do together. And we're going to continue to live by our motto, status quo is unacceptable, and we're going to continue to improve it every year, every single year that we're title sponsor of the event. So thank you for your support. I appreciate it.
The winner of the 4 tickets to the South Florida game is Justin Wilkie from United Way. You can pick those up afterwards. Good first meeting, and he wins tickets. Terrific. Also, I would be remiss if I didn't also, about the Durham Fair. They did receive an unbelievable award this year, which we're really proud of. I know Deb and Dan and everyone is. They received the Governor's 2017 Tourism Award for Volunteers of the Year, just because of the amount of volunteers, the amount of commitment they have. And for that, we are very, very grateful to them for everything they do here in our region. We're fortunate. Next, I'd like to call upon the mayor of the city of Middletown, Dan Drew, for a presentation.
Thank you, Coach. Good morning, everybody. It's great to be here with all of you. And Coach Rowe, congratulations on a well-deserved honor. It's always wonderful to see you. And it's great to be here with all of you. And Coach Edsall, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. And, you know, we are just extraordinarily proud of the University of Connecticut across our entire state, certainly here in this community. And as an alumnus, it's an institution that I'm proud of every single day. And I've had the good fortune to visit a few times recently. And every time I come back, no matter whether it's a couple of weeks or a couple of years since I'd last been there, it looks different. Every single time. There's so much growth and so much vibrancy, and it's really a testament to Larry, to President Herbst, to the whole board of trustees, and certainly to all the men and women that make the university work every single day. And we just wanted to welcome you back, Coach, and I would like to present you with the key to the city of Middletown in honor of your return and as a welcome from our community to you. And on a quick personal note, I would also like to recognize and welcome my friend and colleague, Mayor Joe Ganim from Bridgeport. Thank you. Thank you all. Have a wonderful day.
Well, it's a great morning, and to see the amount of people we have here today. And football season started. We're all excited about that, and I know that Randy's going to do a great job. But you know, I just would be remiss if I didn't mention a few people from the University of Connecticut that are with us here today. First, I want Coleman Levy, from past chair of the foundation, who just is a wonderful person and friend, and was my mate going through a lot of years working for the University of Connecticut. Also, we have, as was mentioned, we have an unbelievable board of trustees. And it's a team, just like a team is in sports. You have to have people working together in all responsibilities. And Rich Carberry is with us today. Andrea Dennis Levine is with us also today. And of course, Andy Bissett. And the individual that really I work with on an unbelievable time is Rochelle Rubin, the Chief of Staff to Susan. So let's have a round of applause for all of them. They just outstanding. A reminder to we have students here, though, before we go. Students cannot have their pictures taken with Coach Edsall or speak because of the NCAA rules, okay? I just want to mention that. We have to get out front on that with everyone. So it's not that Coach Edsall wouldn't do it, it's just that there's NCAA regulations on that stuff. So just for those people that are in high school, can't be any contact on that. So just a reminder to everybody. Well, now I'm going to introduce a great friend who was a former Xavier student, knew me as a coach. I don't know if I taught him driver ed, but I could have. With his driving record, I might not want to own up to that. But Mike Casparino, I go back to knowing Mike in the late 70s as a student at Xavier. He's a very close friend of one of my sons, my son Larry, out in California. Still friends, and that's the thing about Xavier that's amazing. These kids that go to school, and then afterwards they just remain friends, whether in California or Hawaii or wherever it is, they contact one another, and that's tremendous. But Mike Casparino has gone on in the corporate world to just do an unbelievable job with People's United Bank. But more important to, I think, all of us here in the room is Mike Casparino, the man. He was a great athlete at Xavier. He was a great athlete at UConn. He's gone on to have unbelievable success in the business community. But this guy has never, ever forgotten his roots. That is so important. And for you young people here today, that's one thing that you should all remember. Never forget your roots, because those are the people that are with you all the time. And Mike Casparino is an example of that. Great athlete, great student, great career in business. Now he's got a great leadership job and a tremendous bank that's really dedicated to the state of Connecticut to make sure we move forward in a positive manner. Mike has been a big, big UConn supporter and friend of Randy's. So it gives me a great honor to introduce Mike Casparino to introduce our speaker.
Always great to come back home after comments like that. Thank you, Larry, so much. And Larry's always been a mentor to me and to a lot of you out there. And we're lucky to have what Larry does every single day. So thank you so much, Larry, for those kind words. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for being here today. I know you'd all agree these Middlesex Chamber breakfast meetings continue to be the most impressive month after month, year after year. The huge crowds, strong supporting membership, and special guest speakers make it one of the finest and most recognizable chambers in the country. Please, let's give Larry and his staff a round of applause for all that he does, and they do. Wow, a lot has changed over the past year. New football season, new schedule, new recruiting class, and most importantly, a new head coach who has proven winning experience. And Holy Cross is marching in here next week, a week from today at the Rent, 7:30 under the lights. Everyone in this great state is excited about football again. There's a lot of enthusiasm centered around this season due to the Huskies having a nice mix of experienced returnees on both sides of the ball to go along with a talented group of newcomers, such as new starting quarterback David Pindell. Last year, he was rated one of the top junior quarterbacks in the country. The Huskies are ready to face an exciting schedule this year. Some of the games featured this season at home are nationally ranked USF, and SEC opponent Missouri or Mizzou. Other home games are Memphis, Tulsa, and East Carolina. On the road, the Huskies will play Virginia, SMU, Temple, UCF, and Cincinnati. UConn will also be playing, I think as the home team, Boston College at Fenway Park on Saturday, November 18th, which marks a great New England rivalry in one of the nation's most iconic stadiums. Ladies and gentlemen, for the 16th consecutive year, People's United Bank is very proud to sponsor another Middlesex Chamber breakfast. It also gives me great pleasure to have the opportunity to introduce my good friend and today's speaker, who is no stranger and really needs no introduction at all, but head football coach Randy Edsall. Quick background, recent background on Coach. Coach Edsall returns to UConn from the NFL's Detroit Lions, where he was the Director of Research and Special Projects. He helped them guide them through those playoffs last year. Prior to that, he served as head football coach, we won't say this too loud, University of Maryland for 5 years. I'll say that quickly. Randy begins his second stint as UConn head football coach after being with the program for 12 seasons, from 1999 to 2000. He led the program from Division I AA status in 1999 to an appearance in the Bowl Championship Series and the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl following the 2010 season. During his time in Stores, the program blossomed from a major college football newcomer to a team that made 5 bowl appearances in 7 years, and 4 of those, by the way, being consecutive. He has recorded the most wins in program history, 74, and coached the most games, 144. In addition to being the winningest coach in school history, Edsall's coaching record in the school's first 9 FBS seasons was 65-46. The good old days, right? We got him back. All right. As you know, Coach Edsall is a classic motivator with a proven track record of winning wherever he goes. His passion, dedication, fiery, upbeat attitude, and competitive drive makes him the coach that he is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are extremely fortunate to have Randy back today coaching our UConn football team, not only due to his coaching success on the football field, but also the example he sets forth for the young men that participate in the program every single day. Let's show our support and appreciation and give Coach Edsall a big welcoming round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, Mike presented it just how I wrote it, so that was, you know, that was good. He can take instructions. He was a good player, you know. But you know, it's a great pleasure to be back. It's a tremendous, you know, opportunity that lies ahead. And you know, sometimes you don't get second opportunities. And you know, I think you always try to cherish every opportunity that you get. And you know, it's been special before. It's even more special now being back. And you know, first I want to congratulate Larry, because you know, I remember coming here back in the early 2000s and speaking, and you know, to see the how he's sustained but also has grown the chamber and the things that they've been able to do, that says a lot about, you know, his leadership. And you know, it's also sad for me because when I was here before, he was the chairman of the board of trustees, and now as I come back, he's going off. And you know, being a coach and having a coach in a position like that, you know, it's very rewarding from the standpoint that he understands what you go through and everything else. But I think let's give him a round of applause for all the things, not just what he's done here, but for the state and all the people that he's influenced. In my profession, I'm blessed that you know, I'm able to be around a lot of people
who have can have a tremendous impact and influence on who you are and what you do in your life and in the work that you do. And, you know, this guy, you know, was a tremendous asset when I was here before. And, you know, it's one of those things that, you know, I was young. It was my first head coaching job. You know, I made a lot of mistakes. And, but this guy was in my office every Friday, was in my office every Sunday, because as we made the journey from a 1AA program to 1A and then going into the Big East Conference, that was hard. It was very, very hard. But this was a guy that knew, was a coach, was an administrator, and really got it, but didn't even coach the same sport that I was involved with. But I think it speaks of the man that he is. And then coming back, you know, he comes over to my office all the time, and then he apologizes if I'm not there, and he came over to see me. And I was very, very fortunate that I was able to pick him up this morning and be able to spend 45 minutes just talking about different things coming down and here this morning and going back. And he was already recognized, but I'll tell you, you know, if it wasn't for this guy, I would never made it here the first time around, you know, because he was a guy that kept everything going, kept me going, and I just want to recognize D-Row again for all he's done. And, you know, now President Herbst was coming in as I left before, and she's back, and just to see all the things that have transpired on campus and living in stores, it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable the job she's done. And if you're going to be good at anything, you know, you have to have great leadership. So I want to commend you and thank you for the job that you've done in making UConn what it is today. So, President, thank you very much. Well, you know, it's great that we haven't played any games so far, and we're undefeated right now, and everybody's feeling good. Hopefully that'll remain the same way. But again, it's you know, it's really good to be back. And one of the things that I just want to say to the young people that are here today is this: is that, you know, we were fortunate that we had Coach Calhoun come in and speak to our team yesterday, and you know, he had a bunch of great things to say and was very, very good. But you know, I think for the young people today, for you to understand that, embrace the fact that there's people who care about you. You know, there's people who are going to hold you accountable to things that are going to help you be better, not only in terms of what you're doing now, but what you're going to be doing in the future. You know, embrace that. Don't resent it, because it's going to help you, and understand that the people that are trying to hold you accountable, coaches, teachers, parents, you know, they have your best interest. They know more than what you know. They have the experience. And then also take this great game of football and the lessons that you learn and continue to apply it to everyday life. And then also to make sure that you take advantage of those opportunities, because there's going to be opportunities for you to continue your education, to continue to play sports if that's what you so choose. And being part of a team is really what it's all about. That's the number one thing, because whatever you do in life, it's always about team. And you can't get to where you want to go if you don't utilize all those resources that you have to make you better. So I want to wish all of you success as you go through the season. But again, embrace those people that will hold you accountable and allow you to go on and achieve the things that you want to achieve in life. You know, it's interesting coming back to Connecticut. I can still remember, you know, when I came in And the first day I came back, and I pull into the garage across from the Burton Family Football Complex, and I walk up to the doors and use the key fob to get in and stand in the lobby. And it was almost like I never left. And a lot of things were still the same. They hadn't changed. And then I go up into my office, and I'm looking, a lot of the same pictures, a lot of the same sayings that I had in frames were still there. And then I don't know if it was destiny or what, but I go to the desk, and there's a little refrigerator. I had a refrigerator there that's still there. And I don't know if I forgot to take it or somebody, had it, but on the top of the refrigerator was this paperweight, and it had my initials on it. And I can't believe somebody would leave it there for 6 years, but it just must have been destiny, because there it was, and it just blew my mind that that was still there. But I was fortunate last year that I had an opportunity to be with the Detroit Lions. And the one thing that was good about that situation, and I think sometimes it's good that whatever you get involved with, it's a chance to step back. And one of the things that really helped me was going and spending time there at Detroit under Bob Quinn and Jim Caldwell, and seeing how that organization ran and what they did, because it helped me grow to incorporate some things that I'm doing in the program, today. And this is the other thing that I'll say to you is this: you never know when somebody is going to step out and help you because of the relationship that you built. Because life is about relationships. When I got let go at Maryland, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was thinking that, hey, I might retire, I might do something different, whatever. Well, the phone rings, and it's Bob Quinn, who's at the New England Patriots. And Bob was a graduate assistant at UConn in 1990 when I first, 1999 when I first got here. GA in the equipment room. I helped him get an internship with the New England Patriots. He was with the Patriots for 16 years, went up through the chain there at the Patriots, got 5 Super Bowl rings, okay, 5, not 1, but 5. So he calls me and he says, I think I have an opportunity to get the general manager's job at the Detroit Lions. Do you know Ernie Accorsi, who is heading up the search? And Ernie is from Hershey, Pennsylvania. I'm from Glen Rock, Pennsylvania. So I didn't know him personally. There were some mutual friends that we had, so I called those mutual friends to find out. So I called Bob back and I said, hey, you're right in the mix for this thing. You got a really good opportunity. He says, well, if I get the job, I want you to come to Detroit with me. And I said, why don't you get the job and then call me back? So next thing I know, probably about a week later, he calls me and he says, hey, I'm going to get the job. I'm going to take the job. And he says, I'd like to. I said, well, what role are you talking about? He says, well, I have no idea yet, but I want you to come there. So I went out and I went and talked to him, and I talked with Jim Caldwell, who I had known through the coaching circles, recruiting against him, and when he was at Penn State, and then he was a head coach at Wake Forest. So anyhow, so I go out there. Well, as Mike said, and if anybody in here in this room can tell me, I'd be good, because I still don't know what it was. My title was Director of Football Research and Special Projects. So if you know what that was, you got a better idea than what I know what I was doing. But what I'm saying is this: you just never know how you can affect people. And by doing the right things and treating the people the right way, at some point in time, it will come back and pay forward for you. And that's the great thing that I get to do each and every day. I get an opportunity to impact young men and help them grow and develop and become better students, better athletes, and better people. And to be able to do that and have those life-lasting relationships was something that I missed last year when I was in Detroit. And that was great. But I didn't have that opportunity to make that impact that I've had previously. And then when you come back to a special place like Connecticut, with all the great people that are here and all the kids that you coached, and then, you know, as they come back and you talk to them, you know, that's what really drives me to do what I do. And Larry knows what I'm talking about. Dee knows what I'm talking about. It's those relationships where you can see young men that don't get it when you first start dealing with them. But then after 4 or 5 years, and then they go away, and 4 or 5 years after they come back and they say, thank you for what you did. I was no different. I was no different. I was fortunate that I had people that took an interest in me that gave me those opportunities. And that was one of the things that Jim said to our team yesterday. You guys have tremendous opportunities. Take advantage of it. And the one thing that he said that stood out to me, okay, because I think young people today get so many things from the outside, and they don't get a chance to really take in those things that people that care about them will stress. He told my team, he says, just let your coaches coach you. Just let them coach you. And if you do that, you know, you guys are going to have the success that you want to have as a team, and that you'll have success as people. Because the words that they're going to talk to you about, the things that they're going to hold you accountable for, are all the lessons and the things that you need to be successful in life. And, you know, there's tremendous stories, you know, out there about people that I know that I've coached and I've dealt with. You know, one of the things that was really heartwarming for me, I got a call from Desmond Connor from the Hartford Courant the other day. And he went down and he talked to Jordan Todman, who was with the Jets, who just got released yesterday. But talked to him and he said, wow, I can't believe how he has really grown and matured and developed since his time at UConn. So, you know, the thing is, everybody plays a role in the development of young people. But to be able to be a head coach and to be able to be a coach to also help coaches achieve what they want to achieve is something that's very, very special. And I'm lucky because I've been able to hire, you know, an outstanding staff. Because number one, I think we all have to understand is that it's something that we can't do ourselves. There's nobody good enough to do everything all by themselves. You have to have a great team. And I have a great team from, as I mentioned, President Herbst, David Benedict, our athletic director, my sports supervisor, Beth Getz, who's here today. Give her a round of applause, please. But whatever we do, there's a team that's involved. And again, I was able to bring people that I know personally, that have worked with me. I've been able to bring people that I've never worked with before and to bring them together. And the neat thing and the challenge is bringing everybody together and inheriting young men that I didn't coach before, okay, that I didn't recruit, But the fun part for me has been bringing all these people together and seeing the camaraderie and the chemistry and the togetherness that they're showing and the passion to be able to go out and win and do things the right way is really neat. And that's the challenge. That's the challenge. And I know we have challenges, but I know this, when we go out and take the field next Thursday night, our guys are going to go out and give it everything that they got for each other, for the university, for the state, to make everybody to prove a point. Because right now, there's a lot of people who don't think we're very good. And I love that. I love that challenge. Because to me, that's what life is all about, proving people wrong. And every day, we don't talk about it, we don't have to talk about it. But that's the thing that you strive for, and these young men are striving for. It's been fun. It has been. It's been a lot of fun working with these guys. You know, we're young. We're young. We've got 19 first-year players in our 2 deep. But you know what? There's some young, we're going to start a freshman at punt return, kickoff return. Some people say, Coach, you're nuts. Well, guess what? I've been with that young man. I see what he does. The stage isn't too big for him. He's embracing that opportunity. And sometimes that's all people need, is the opportunity. And a lot of you people in here give people opportunities. And then you see them go with it and run with it and become very, very successful. And that makes you feel good. I wished everybody in this room had the same opportunities that I do to work with outstanding young men and help them achieve the things that they want to achieve. We have 17 seniors and we have 17 sophomores and juniors. But, collectively, and this is the other thing, we're going to take all this group of young men from all different backgrounds, all different areas, different races, and put them together as one. And that's the great thing about sport, is being able to do that. And that's what we hopefully get this country to do too. Because those guys they don't care where they're from. They don't care anything other than working with each other and being part of that team. And it all starts for us next Thursday night. And, the other thing that I found is this. If you empower young people and you guide them and instruct them, they're going to take that and run with it. I have a leadership council. I don't have captains. I have a leadership council. And I meet with those guys every week. And we had one meeting. Next meeting they come into, it was amazing. Because I asked them, I said, what do you guys have? And they had about 10 things that they wanted to talk about. Because again, you want to draw those things out of them. So you empower them to be able to do the things that they want to do and want to be a part of it. Because it's their team, but it's my program. Because they're the ones that have to do it. So, like I said, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, the schedule's tough, but, that's fine. We got 12 that we're going to play, and we're going to go play each and every one of them. But I can tell you this group of young men that we have, they're going to go out and they're going to give it everything they got each and every game that they play. And, since I've gotten back, whether I'm out running on campus and people at the university wishing good luck, being out in the community throughout the state, everybody is, behind us, excited about it. Do me a favor, tell your friends, go buy tickets, get out there, because let me tell you this, you make a difference. You make a difference when we play. And I've seen it before because I was here before, And when the rent was filled, okay, and people were there, it was one of the toughest places to play in all of college football. Robert Griffin III said it, okay? It's a tough place to play. I want to thank everybody for, your excitement and your enthusiasm for what we're going to be doing and the hospitality that you've showed me and my family before and even now coming back. And together, okay, together we can make this happen. So God bless you and thank you for the opportunity.